What's up, Wolverines, and welcome back to Wellness for You. Today, I have a very special guest with us. This is our student body president.
Hi.
Go ahead and tell us about yourself, like why you chose to become student body president.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. This is fun. This is great. I'm Mimi Barney, the student body president for this year over UVUSA. Just a little bit about me. I'm a graphic design major. I just finished up out of the program last year, should say last semester. And I'm just getting my minor in marketing to finish up. So it's been really fun. On a more personal note, I like to run. I like to read. Really like to spend time with my friends, with my family. I feel like I'm kind of a homebody, but I also like to just be out and be doing things. So as far as student body president goes, this is definitely something that I never saw myself doing, which is crazy now that I'm in this position. When I first started here at UVU, I actually couldn't even, I didn't even know how to drive on the freeway.
I love that.
I was so terrified of everything. And I was terrified I graduated high school during COVID. Mm-hmm. And so the thought of, moving away from home and, being away, I'm literally from Draper, I should add, so I'm not even from very far. But the thought of, driving 30 minutes south to, be away was, a terrifying thought for me. And I seriously was I don't even, I hate being on the freeway. I don't know how to drive on the freeway. I have come so far, and it's been so great. But I started here as an ambassador, and I feel like from there, I just realized how much I loved UVU and how much I appreciated how much it was giving to me. And so I kind of made it a goal. I was my senior year, I just wanted to try to give back to the university as much as I feel like it's given me, because I feel like UVU really gave me a fair shot,
Yeah.
So it's kind of how I ended up in this spot, in this position.
That's awesome. And how have you been enjoying it?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been so fun. It's been so fulfilling to be a part of something that is bigger than yourself, and to constantly be advocating for students and listening to feedback. And there's this really interesting parallel of still being a student and then being in this leadership role where I'm speaking for the students. It's really cool. It's just been awesome.
Speaking from the position you're in, that's kind of a great place to be. Yeah. And I'm sure we can all appreciate the stuff that you've done for us.
Thanks.
In my side of things, being from wellness, I kind of wanted to talk about what you guys do to get involved in student wellness, because I know the point of student body president and the student body is to kind of give that representation and to help students succeed, which is a huge thing for me. That's what I try to do on this podcast. So it was perfect to have you on. So we did have some people kind of send in some questions just based on health related. So I'll go ahead and read those off for you. The first question is, how does the student government advocate for wellness improvements on campus? And are there any recent wins you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, so, I have an entire branch. It's called the Connection and Belonging branch. I've got 3 vice presidents. And my sweet vice president named Ava Gonzalez. I can take no credit for what she does, because she has just paved this great way forward, and so has her team. We have a really great civic engagement chair, and we have really awesome inclusion co-chairs is what we call them. And they are really the ones that are paving this awesome way for students to feel like that they have a place that they belong, that they can come to school, that they have great resources. It's really, really awesome to see them work, especially this year with HB 261, which is a big topic of discussion in our offices. That's the bill that has, limited DEI. We have just really focused this year on working as closely as we possibly can to that threshold of still providing these activities and these events and these spaces for students. We recently had a spa and wellness night that went really well. They kind of scheduled it around this time of midterms, and, we just had a really stressful election. And it was just really great. It was really great to see students that were able to come and to be here. Something else that we've really done this year to focus on student wellness is just looking outside of these usually larger events that we do, like the Green Out Dance or Insomnia, right? Mm-hmm. Those are usually events that attract a lot of students, but we've kind of tapped into, hey, what about, those students that don't want to come to those big events? It's sure, we have, 2,500 students who come to these events, but it's what about, maybe those 70 or 60 kids that that's not their vibe and they don't want to be there, right? My activities chair, his name's Kyle Colmore. He is awesome. I just absolutely love him. His team has been really primarily focused this year on creating events, for those smaller subsets of students. We did a really fun event called Sound Bites that was awesome.
Oh, fun.
It was a smaller open mic night event, so you could come do poetry, you could sing a song, you could do stand-up comedy. It was just whatever you wanted to. And we probably had about 30 students there, and it just was awesome. I feel like my team they were able to create space for those 30 students who feel like that they can come to campus and belong. And so I feel like that's helping push forward our initiative of wellness is, having students feel like that they're not just coming here to go to school, but that they can come and have events that they enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and that's really important.
Yeah.
Like the whole slogan or saying for the school is like a place for you.
Totally. And like school can be so stressful. And so if we can kind of help eliminate some of that and bring some joy to campus and be like, not only am I coming to school, but I'm coming to the Sound Bites events, or, oh, I'm feeling so stressed and I can come to the spa and wellness night. Do you know what I mean? I'm really hoping that through some of these events or, efforts that we're pushing forward, that students really can be like, I love coming to UVU. Like, I'm feeling so well. Like, I feel so great being here, so.
Yeah. I loved it. I mean, I've gone to plenty of the events too. Like
That's
some of
great.
the dances, I feel like sometimes I'm like not feeling up to
I know,
it.
right? It's like,
It's
it's not everybody's vibe, you know? So, yeah.
But like there are so many different things that you can go look up. Like that was my
Totally.
favorite thing about like the amount of events, because we don't necessarily have too many sports, but we do have sports, but like without like the huge football games here,
Totally.
sometimes you feel like you miss out on like that big like community, especially being a commute school. It's hard to like have so many like students here, but with having so much to do at school, it's easy to spend a lot of time here.
Oh, for sure.
Which is really nice, because for those like living far away, to come here to spend all day here, like in between classes and stuff like that, there's a lot that you can do, whether it's just hanging out at the food court or like the activities that everybody has, which I think is super important. So it's awesome to like hear that you guys are kind of like working on different things, especially for those who don't want to go to the dances or be outgoing. Like there's some like more smaller
some
events.
Smaller. I mean, even my academics branch, I have a really great VP. His name's Ian, and I have a really great team that works over that, and they have forums, and they do like expert sessions where they bring in professors and experts in that field, and I think that also provides a really great space for students who need those resources, you know, and are maybe too afraid to ask or don't know where to find them. And so we hold forums and ask the expert sessions, during the day, during class hours. So those, students that you were talking about that, maybe are 35-minute hour drives, like they make really long commutes. And so it's, convenient hours for them while they're on campus in between their classes to come and stop by. So it's been really great too.
That's awesome. I know. And it's just like all involved in learning and stuff like that, which is super, super fun.
Yeah.
The next question is a little similar, but mental health is a huge topic on college campuses, as we were talking.
For sure.
How is UVU's supporting students who may be struggling with stress, anxiety, other mental health challenges?
Yeah. I mean, we get it. I'm like, if anybody, I have a lot of students on my team, me included. I mean, this job is stressful. I mean, a lot of what I say or what I do, like a lot of my actions get followed very closely. And so a lot of the times I'm dealing with a lot of stress of, he said, she made promises, all these different things. And so even in our own offices, like internally, we take a lot of time for people to take breaks to avoid burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are these events that we do or these forums or these speakers that we come, like, we're trying to cater to all student needs, right? But I do think that we do care a lot about mental health. We work really closely. I love Alexis Palmer. She's the dean of students here, and I just love her. She is such an advocate for students, but not only students, but mental health. Something that she's really pushed this year has been timely care. I don't know if that's something that you've heard about, but it's just a really great program, super fast and easy, quick way to be able to get access to therapy. I know that just to be 100% honest, like I've personally used it a couple times where I can just get on and just be like, I am just stressed, and I can be able to talk to somebody and just be like, hey, I've got a lot going on, and I just need some more help, kind of managing these heavy emotions or these things. And it's been really great. So not only from a student government perspective, do I feel like we are, kind of pushing back on that stigma with mental health. I mean, especially here in college, because it's stressful. It's really stressful. But there are higher ups and there's VPs here who really care about students' mental health. And I think timely care this year that they introduced was a really, really great way for a lot of students to access, free therapy and help.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I had heard about that, but
Yeah. It's been great.
that's super cool. Yeah, I mean that's mostly the point of my podcast is to point out all these
All these
amazing
great
resources because
yeah.
when I came, like, I was kind of the like, well, my classes are done, I'm leaving campus.
Yeah.
Like,
No, totally.
there's nothing
That's-
else I'm doing
Yeah.
here, you know? And then just kind of got through school as quickly as possible, which is a way to do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like,
There's nothing
get it
wrong with
over
that.
with. Yeah.
No.
But, like, if you are genuinely struggling with your classes or any part of your life, I feel like Campus Resources has everything that you need.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And not to mention, majority to not absolutely free.
Oh, yeah.
Like, which is insane to me because, like, that's, I feel like, a big hindrance to a lot of people with when it comes to, like, therapy and getting help or, like, nutritionalists, like, anything involving that. It's expensive. Like, everything costs an arm and a leg right now. Like,
I know.
I'm just trying to survive
I
and
know.
you're just, like, paying over and over again. And, you know, some of these, like, may not be, like, super vetted to you personally or be able to meet as often as maybe a paid service would be.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a start.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I love about it. It's like, you know, like you say, like, you don't have to go every month or every week. Like, you could just go the one time just to, like, get that off your chest and then be like, okay, I can move on.
Totally. I mean, I feel like that's kind of, I was at, like, a point in the semester where I just was like, you know, I was in the middle of a campaign and I was coming up on midterms and all these different things. And so I just was like, you know what, like, why not? There's such a stigma around mental health. And I just was like, I just needed some extra help. You know, I just need to be able to really vent to somebody that maybe from a clinical perspective could just be like, these are some tactics and these are some things you can try. And do you know what I mean? And I also am a huge proponent. Like, I'm not going to go out there and preach to the students that they should use it or do it if it's something that I haven't already tried out. Like, there is nothing worse than when you have somebody on the internet that is like, you've got to try this. You've got to try this product and you got to buy it. And it's like, you haven't even tried it.
You
do you
don't
know what I
even
mean?
know.
You haven't even given it a shot. And so I just remember being like, if I'm going to be in this position of student body president and if I'm going to be talking to students and telling them like, hey, you should try this, or we have this resource, like, who am I to sit up there and be like, oh, but I've never used it. I've never needed it. Do you know what I mean?
But
And it's like,
great. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so I thought it was helpful. I thought it was really great. So
Yeah, and to everybody that I've spoken to, like, on this podcast, like, just such kind people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're working here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, they want to do this. They want to be here.
100%.
So, of course, they're going to want to, like, help you. And like, we kind of talked, like, you kind of mentioned, it's hard to ask for help, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's such a stigma about, like, therapy, and it's also stigma about, like,
100%.
doing everything yourself and just, like, getting it over with.
Yeah.
On my recent podcast, I kind of talked to a fellow student who like has like 2 part-time jobs, like full-time student as well as like a mother, like just like everything, like you need help at that point. Like, and it's like, if it's there, why not take that resource? Totally. And especially there's no consequences, especially when it's free. Like, nothing can come back to bite you for trying that. No, like, what's the worst that can happen? No, like, there's nothing. Like, you either get some free advice that may help you, or you get some free advice that doesn't apply to you, and
you just don't take it.
You can go on, like, move on. Like, that's kind of, it's just kind of a nice thing to just try out, which is, you know, you're advocating, I'm advocating for it. Like, just go try it out. But and it's so awesome to hear you guys involved with all these things and these activities. Just wanted to ask for our viewers, is there a way that someone can come look at all those events that you're doing or follow along with anything like that?
Yeah. So I usually would point you to our Instagram account. We've just had some issues with it lately, so it's currently down. So I'm like, don't check there because it's not active. So don't look. If you want to come stop by our offices, we are literally just downstairs in the SL building. You can't miss us. I think we're SL 122. Yep. That's where we are. That's really terrible that I don't know. I'm like, I just walk in there every day. I'm like, we're in SL 122. If you just want to come downstairs, you can always come into our offices. We have somebody that's always at the front desk right there. We're usually out flyering. We have like a list of our activities and stuff that we have going on. Just like for right now, just because we're headed into Thanksgiving break and then we come back for a little bit. And then the semester ends and everything. We do have a couple events just coming up. One of my favorites, and I'll give a little shout out, is our Lego of Stress event that we're going to do.
Love it.
Just in light of finals, you can come, build some Legos, kind of de-stress a little bit. But if you want to stop by our offices, we always have like a list of activities and stuff that we have going on. And so that would probably be the best way right now while we're working on the Instagram.
Right.
To see all the info.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I feel like it does get listed on the UVU events page.
Yeah.
As well.
You can also check like campus groups, the UVU events page. Yeah. You totally.
So many places to look that up.
Lots of places.
So that's so awesome. Just as a final question, is there anything you or your team, your UVUSA group, are doing that's exciting upcoming for like this end of the semester?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of touched a little bit on our like Lego of Stress event that, you know, we are really excited about. Obviously my Connection and Belonging branch is also working really hard as far as being really great mental health advocates, helping students find those resources. They work really hard towards the end of the semester as well. You know, I think just all of us, you know, working in these positions, like we wouldn't be here if we didn't really care about the students. Like I wouldn't be here like 25 hours a week in all of these meetings, 25 to 30 hours a week, just advocating for students. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really something that we really care about. And I just wish that I could have every single student come stop by, you know, the meetings that I sit in or, you know, our office to see how much work we're really doing to kind of push this mission forward to make students feel like that they belong here.
Right.
I think some things that are just kind of exciting that, you know, we're working on are just tapping into some of these events that we want students to feel like that they have a place that they can come to. We have a couple Ask the Experts that are going to be coming up. We have a student fees forum that's going to be coming up. So if you're, you know, curious about where your money is going as far as student fees, the process that, you know, student government goes through to keep those lower or to allow, you know, just different things like that. We have that coming up towards the, you know, kind of the January, February of this year as well. So there's some really exciting things. We're just trying to drive our mission of, hey, we really care about you as the students and we care about your feedback and the things that you care about. And I've had a lot of students in my office come and talk to me about, you know, negative things and positive things. And they're being actively worked on. And it's a really, really, really exciting process. So just, you know, for the end of this year, we're really excited. It's been really great. We have a lot of really great, like I said, events and forums and things coming up that we hope students will find helpful as we kind of round out this semester and we head into the last semester of this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just a follow-up question on one thing. If like for like giving feedback and stuff like that, you said that they're coming to your office. Is there any other way that like students can like ask questions or give feedback or something that they want to happen?
Yeah, so in each one of your respective colleges, there should be a green like drop box, and it has your like college senator that has like their picture. You can literally like physically write out feedback and drop that in that box, or you can scan the little QR code that's attached and it takes you back to our general student feedback survey where you can write anything you want. In your wildest dreams, you can give us any sort. I'm like, if you want 3 more parking garages, I'm like, you can totally suggest it.
Yeah.
But that's another great way too. So not only can you just come stop by my office at any time, you can drop by. I have candy in my office. I know you want to be there. Incentives, right? Anything to get you there. Not only can you just come stop by my office or one of my VP's offices, but you are always welcome to drop feedback in those green boxes. There's even one in front of our office. So if you're like, hey, I can't find my one at my college, come to the Student Life and Wellness building. You can't miss it. It's got my nice VP, Ian Gocher. It's got his face on it. So you can scan that or you can physically write in and drop it into that box and we'll take it. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to know. Good resources. Yep. Well, thank you again so much for being on here with me. Just wanted to point you out, highlight you to all of our students and let them know that you guys are doing some good work because I've definitely seen it. So
thanks. We appreciate that. We
go out, use all these amazing resources. Is there anything else that you want students to know?
No, other than there are students who are actively fighting for you. I touched on that, but I can't drive that point home like enough. Like we really we care, and we care about your student fees. We care about where your money's going. We care about the things that you care about. I'm obviously very passionate about, you know, student focused work. So there are people in your government right now at UVU that really care about you.
Yeah. So there's people in our corner, which is super nice.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you again.
Thanks.
so much.
Appreciate it.
And we will catch you next time, Wolverines. Have a wonderful week.